this update, I have some exciting news to share, and part of the exciting news is about the house. I had a meeting with the council. When was that? That was yesterday, and it went really, really well, to the point of I'm hoping, it's still a hope, so nothing confirmed yet, but there's the possibility of having the house on the land and essentially livable within the next when I get back. So potentially as early as September, and that's really exciting. So I'm just in sort of the final phase of getting everything done, and potentially just maybe a couple of weeks away from getting the council's sign off on everything, which means as soon as I get that sign off, I can go ahead and start putting things properly on the land. And that is a lot faster actually than I thought would happen. And so I came out of the meeting just sort of in awe that things had gone that well and that their turnaround times were that fast. So I'm really looking forward to, once I get back from overseas, to really take the things that I've learned about the land and like growing things and what it does when it's raining, what it does when it's dry, and just a little bit more about the neighborhood itself and some of the ideas that pop into my head as I'm spending hours and hours every day here. And yeah, just sort of turning that into a reality. So I think it's a very exciting upcoming, probably, well, maybe like a month of lull while I'm away, but straight after that, it should be hopefully really into lots of new developments happening very quickly. So the only other real things that are new and different around here is mainly just lots of growth in the garden, lots of learning done in the garden, and I will flip the camera around so that I can show you some of the new additions. So to start off with some of the new additions, it's actually some weeds that I have done some identification on just today, because I noticed that this is the mulch mountain here, sort of down towards the creek, and I noticed that it has kind of been taking over the mulch mountain. It's not growing from the mulch mountain, it's kind of growing back in behind there and moving forward. But the really cool thing is, and again, this is just like a weed here in this part of the world, but this is the fruit that it grows. And it eventually turns red. This one has all rotted out. Those are the seeds from inside. But so it turns orange, and then the seeds are all red, and there's another one just in there. So it's all hidden underneath this really cool vine. And now that I'm back here, I can see all sorts of other ones. There's one in there. And I don't think it's particularly edible, but I just think it's really cool that this is a weed in this part of the world. And the other really cool weed that I found, here's heaps of them right here actually. This is a new little, I hadn't seen this before. So this is actually, it's sort of more of a tree, but I'm surprised because this one is actually turned into a bit of a vine as well. But this one, it's like a little balloon, and it just makes lots and lots of little balloons, and then it's just full of these little seeds inside. Yeah, and it's just spreading everywhere. I mean, it's all through here, but where I saw it first come up was all the way over here. And now that I'm looking more closely, so here it is like as a bush, but then it just spreads all through here. And then these beautiful flowers here, they're also a very common weed apparently. And I've left a lot of them just because like butterflies and other little insects seem to really like them a lot. So I thought there's no harm really in them being there. But this is something new. So I've had 4 trailerfuls now of what's called mill mud, and it's like I would say it's essentially compost, because it comes from the cane in the region, and people just plant stuff directly into it, and it just makes things like supercharged in growth. It's got all sorts of, like there's bits of bone, and there's cane that they've burnt, so it's like full of ash and stuff, and just apparently all that is good in the world and everything that plants need. So you just sort of mix some of it into the soil, and it just supercharges everything. So I haven't really done much with it aside from unloading it trailer full after trailer full. And then once I get back, I'll have some new designs for the garden area and the expansion of the garden area, then I'll start using it there, because this area has been it's been like a learning garden, and just sort of proof of concept and a temporary sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to making some changes here in the garden, and the mill mud is likely to be part of that. Alongside here, you can see how much growth has happened with the tomatoes, and I've probably got at least 40 or 50 tomatoes that are happily growing away. And the cucamelons, actually I took out the sunflowers as well. I just took them out today. They were pretty much done, and the cucamelons were starting to grapple on to the sunflowers, and so I thought I better just take them out now. I'll come back to the pumpkins. Normally I just come in and have like a couple handfuls of cucamelons every day, but I haven't actually taken any in a couple days, so there's probably some pretty good examples of, it's just this perpetual, these are little tiny cucamelons in here, but as it grows out, it just, all the way along, it just creates all these little cucamelons, and they're so good. And they're just everywhere. It's pretty much they're growing it faster than I can eat them now, which is exactly how I wanted it, really, to have so much food that every day I can come in and pick lots of things and take it home and add it to whatever I'm eating. These tomatoes here, I don't think they were in the last vlog update, but these were also gifted to me, sort of from the community garden. That makes it sound a little bit dodgy, like I've taken something from the community garden, but that's not at all the case. But these are just little seedlings, so I imagined I just put a whole lot more of the compost here, not the mill mud, just the compost that I had. And I think they should be quite good. They're not the cherry tomatoes, so they're not the same ones as these ones over here, which I think these ones are a little bit more native to the area, or handle the tropical heat a little bit better with the humidity. These ones are the bigger style tomatoes, so that in itself will be a bit of an experiment. And then I realized with the shallots that a lot of them were going to waste because I wasn't picking them fast enough. And so now I come through like once or twice a week and I get a massive handful of them, and then a week later they're all grown back and I get another handful of them. And so all these now provide the perpetual supply. And with the pumpkins, they've actually started flowering, so I'll take that as good news. There's no actual pumpkin looking things quite yet that I've noticed, but I imagine that's not too far away. And the pak choi, these are the other ones that I've just been, these I should probably be doing twice a week because they grow super quick. And like handfuls of them, many handfuls of them every week. I normally just take the biggest leaves on the outside, and then they just keep growing. And even the sweet potato is starting to make a run for all the way out here. The lettuce, same approach, is I just keep taking leaves from the outside. Actually, this is a cabbage, but I eat the leaves. I don't know if I'm meant to, but they taste fine to me, and I put them in hamburgers and stuff because they're such big leaves. This is the actual proper lettuce, and I haven't actually taken anything from here yet. And then the silver beet is starting to grow up over here. This one here in the middle is super exciting to me because I got this at the markets for $5. And this is called tree lettuce. And this, it grows about 4 or 5, so it's not quite as tall as I am, but it grows quite tall and it grows really quickly. And it's just all like these leaves they taste just like lettuce. And yeah, it just grows really quickly. Like it was only a few days ago that I put it into the ground here and it's already growing. This leaf here is all new. So I'm happy that it is happily in the ground and growing quite quickly. And then these tomatoes seem to have come back fairly okay. I'm sure all of this is all new, but I haven't actually got room with the other tomatoes over there to put it, so I'm just leaving them here for now. And the cucumbers, yeah, they're doing all right. I mean, obviously nowhere near making more cucumbers, but and then there's all these things here that I think I had planted eggplants. I'm pretty sure these are eggplants in here. And then I definitely can't remember what these are here, but I remember planting something and they've just ended up coming through the compost somehow. I thought I'd killed off everything, but apparently not. And yeah, over here, the little papaya nursery, they're growing. They're definitely growing. So I'm happy about that. The jackfruit, I ended up moving that back into the fenced in area and I put it into a little pot because it had stopped growing and I wasn't too sure why, probably because I wasn't actually giving it any water. And so now that it's in the garden area, I thought that right next to the hose here, I thought I will definitely remember to water it a little bit more. And then these are new here. These were gifted to me. Apparently they're like the other ones I got months ago where I just cut them off and then you put them into soil and then they just magically root and keep growing. So yay for tropical plants. There's still nothing on the sugarcane. All these ones that I planted probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now, not one shoot, but the other one that I planted up at near the street, it took ages to properly shoot as well. So I think it's still okay. And then all these little eggplants along here, they seem to be growing. Maybe not as fast as I thought they would, but apparently eggplant, because they don't grow very quickly, because they're so, like, it's very woody here rather than just fast growth. They just seem to be making like a wood type base. Although I haven't been watering these too much either, so they're looking a little bit sickly, but it's the dry season and I'm sure they'll come back well with the wet season. And bananas, yeah, the bananas are still doing just as they always do, super well. New leaves at least every week. And elephant ears, they're doing well. I think that's pretty much the only thing. Yeah, I've gone over, oh, there's a particular plant that I'm growing in that bucket there. And I'm really excited about this plant because assuming it goes well, then it's something that I could plant a huge amount of, and because I really like it and it's super fast growing, and this land I think would be absolutely perfect for what will be coming out of that pot soon. So I'll keep you updated potentially in the next vlog, and I'll be able to reveal a little bit more about it. So for now, I think that's all the new news that I needed to share.